Hey everybody, hope you're all having an excellent day. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video by Yoontoons called My Autistic Brother. Now, as an autistic person, I am practically obligated to look at this video. I'm curious to see how Yoon's brother, how his experience differs from my own. I'll include the link to Yoon's original video in the description below, and without further ado, let's get watching.
I never really talked about my brother or about his autism much on my channel. I just never really had a reason to bring him up in each of my stories. Usually when something happens, he's either being watched by one of my parents or just minding his own business because he could care less about what his older sister's doing, like dumb things. My brother's name is Yoonjae, just like how my name is Yoonsa in Korean. Everyone who has autism is different. It's not linear. It's a huge spectrum and people can be
That is such an excellent point. It's so funny. I actually made a video about this recently. I'll actually include a link up to the top of the screen right there. It's so true. I recently just explained how it's not a linear thing. It's not like less autistic to more autistic. Every autistic person is equally valid with their own strengths and weaknesses and interests. So I appreciate the fact that she brought this up. Good job, Yoon.
found anywhere on that spectrum because everyone's their own person. He has trouble with speech, but he understands basic speech fairly well, and he responds in simpler words. He plays his own games, and he rages over them too, like me and Spiral of Gadget! Anyway, he walks and runs around perfectly fine. He's faster than me now. Oh my god. He loves writing on his papers from shows that he saw, and he has hundreds of them, and if one of them is gone, he'll usually know. Growing up, I never really thought about my brother having autism much. I just looked at him and I just wanted to dress him up in my dresses and random things I have around the house. Older sister things. I assume most brothers would be angry, but he just went along with it. He eventually took it all off and left to go chill. But he's so cute, look at him!
That's funny. She's actually giving her like the bombastic side eye right now. That's so adorable. That's right, this is like wholesome with a capital W right here.
He's my cute little brother who also ate a lot of my food. And I'm probably his annoying older sister who kept making him wear dresses. There are things I remember about my parents too. When I was about maybe 7 to 8 years old, my mom hugged me and she was crying. I was really confused and I asked her what was wrong. She told me that she was sorry if I felt neglected and pushed away because of my brother, and was sorry that I couldn't have a normal life. I was confused, since I was pretty happy. Sometimes I felt that...
You know, that's a good point. I'm glad Yoon's mom brought this up. This is a common experience with people who have a child with disability and they have a non-disabled child. Because sometimes some disabilities require more attention than others, they require more care and more energy. So it's possible that, you know, a child who is non-disabled might potentially feel like neglected or resentful towards their disabled sibling, but it seems like she got along fairly well. It's a good point, though.
But I could tell they were trying their best, and I know that even more now. I didn't want them to worry about me, because they already had so much going on. I hugged her back and I told her I'm okay and that I was happy.
That's nice.
I could tell my mom was having a hard time, at least from what I saw on the outside. One day, my mom, my brother, and I went to church, and I don't know, they were bringing this saint's body around to bless us?
Wait, what?
I still don't get it, especially since it was when I was little. We were sitting there praying, but my brother was making a lot of noise and stimming. If you guys didn't know what stimming is a repetitive or an unusual body movement.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Yep, this seems pretty accurate. Repetitive or unusual body movements or noises. Stimming is common, like by your nails, different for people with autism. That is so true. Because here's the thing. Autistic behaviors are human behaviors. It's just for autistic people and otherwise neurodivergent people, it varies with the intensity and the frequency of these behaviors. So don't think just because you might occasionally do some largely unconscious movement like biting your nails or something that you're autistic just because some other autistic people might do that. Stimming is a human thing, but it's just more obvious and more necessary for autistic people since we use it to help regulate our nervous system. So I'm glad she brought that little bit of a disclaimer on the bottom.
Or noises. Suddenly, my mom bursts into tears asking why God would do this to her and my brother, and I was in shock, while a nun tried to comfort her, and my brother kept telling her, happy, happy. And I tried
That's
to
nice.
comfort her, but I felt so helpless, like I couldn't do anything for her to make the pain go away. My dad.
Yeah, that's actually a kind of understandable experience because, kind of like what I said earlier, raising a child with a disability can be challenging and it can be draining not only on any siblings but also on the parents itself. And sometimes you just feel like everything's out of your control. But usually, at least based on the research I've done and what I've seen online, it's not nearly as bad or intense as you make it out in your head. Sure, in some cases it can be, but generally it's a lot better than you think it is.
Wasn't very vocal about it, at least to me. Whenever my dad came home from work, I would always greet him and talk to him about my day. He would always make me laugh even though he was tired, and I wouldn't leave him alone because I love my dad.
Father of the Year
I could
material.
tell he would try to act tough for me as well. Things weren't always so smooth with me and my brother. We fought like normal siblings, usually over food, and he'll always try to take mine, and I was feisty with it. He just doesn't know when to stop, man. The two things he loves are food and his computer. I think that's just the most relatable thing, though. There are times where I would want to play with him, but he doesn't have the same interests or he gets distracted easily. I couldn't explain how to play a game like tag to him because he didn't understand. Talking was hard and getting to know him through conversation was difficult. If I had one wish, I really wish I could have a conversation with my brother. I just want to know what goes on in his head
That's so
and what he thinks
nice.
of me. I want to be able to ask him, how was school? And he'll tell me what he learned and if he made any friends or if anyone's bullying him so I can beat him up. But no, his school is pretty great and they.
That's nice. I'm glad that Yoon has that for like her one wish because I've heard this before that sometimes families who have a family member who is autistic, sometimes if they get overwhelmed, they might wish that their sibling or their child wasn't autistic or they'd be better off if they weren't autistic. But I'm glad that Yoon has a more wholesome mindset about it. She just wants to be able to communicate with her brother just in a more conventional way, but doesn't wish that he wasn't autistic. I appreciate that.
Have a good education system and they give a lot of opportunities for kids with special needs there. My
That's
brother
good.
is very friendly and social, unlike me. Whenever we're
Relatable.
going for a walk, he'll always say hi to everyone. So
That's
much
nice.
that the people in the neighborhood started to recognize him. It's really cute to watch. I have no such self-confidence. I get so nervous.
That's
But
relatable
watching
too.
him be so friendly is always inspiring to me. The funniest thing he does sometimes, if it's a pretty girl, not all the time, but most of the time, he will not stop saying hi until he gets a hi back.
Really?
Like, bro, don't simp. Your big sister taught
No
you
simping.
better than that. I'm just kidding. But it's probably really random for someone you don't know to come up for you and to demand a hi from you.
Yeah, it kinda
He
is.
just wants to say hello, though. And when he gets one, he just moves on. Like
Really?
a giga chat.
That's funny. He's got more confidence with women than I do. Bro, you got like the autism Riz level 10. Congrats, my guy.
Growing up, I noticed the way people would react towards my brother, and sometimes he can be loud and make noises randomly, and people would just stare.
That's rude.
And as a kid, I never really knew how to react to that, and I just watched my mom try to calm him down whenever he got too excited. But now, what we also do whenever people stare, we stare right back at them. Do you
Yeah.
like that? Huh? How do you like
Give him
being
a
stared
taste of
at?
your own
Huh?
medicine.
Are you fun to watch? What's up? What's up? What's up? I might be a little much with it compared to my mom. It's one thing to look to see what's going on, but it's another thing when you just stare like we're a spectacle. Like, go on, you have better things to do. There's this one.
Yeah, that's a very excellent point, and I'm glad that she was standing up for her brother like that. But that's something that happens a lot, unfortunately, because mainstream society has this certain unspoken rule book about what behaviors are appropriate or weird when you're out and about in public. And many times, many autistic characteristics don't fit that mold, so we're just more likely to get stared at or just judged. But let me tell you something. Most autistic behaviors don't hurt anyone. I mean, if someone happens to be stimming or making some noise, sure, glance and see what's going on, but don't stare like it's actually a problem. The way I see it, non-autistic folks are really the ones with the problems. They're not just minding their own business. If a behavior isn't hurting you or anyone else, please mind your own business. That's all I gotta say.
Story my dad told me. It's so disgusting. Oh my god. My
Disgusting, how
dad
so?
was on a walk with my brother, and my brother will always say hello to anyone he passes by. And there was this one neighbor who I guess said hello to my dad as well. Hello! Does he have autism? Huh? Oh yeah, he does. Oh, I see. Does he eat well? Yeah,
Weird.
he does. Oh, does he also shit well too?
Wait,
I
what?
kid you not! This guy is talking to my dad about.
Wait, hold on. Okay, this is a completely different type of disgusting than I thought. I mean, who in their right mind asks someone if their child is pooping properly? Or poops a lot, or whatever he just said. Who in their right mind does that? I mean, I could understand that if he was taking like a Great Dane for a walk. Oh, does your big dog eat a lot? I bet he poops a lot. Haha, big dog, big poop. But for a human, especially a child who has a disability, that's not okay. You don't do that. What is going through this guy's head? This guy needs help. Serious help.
My brother about him shitting? Well, what? Who
this is messed
asked
up.
that? Like, he's asking him like he's not even a human.
Exactly.
My dad was so shocked, he didn't even know how to react. He just kind of walked away to catch up with my brother.
I don't think I
remember
know
we
how
were
to react
eating
either.
dinner and we were just talking about it. And we were all pretty angry, but
I
my
would be
dad
too.
felt bad because he wished he said something more to him. But I mean, like, who says that about someone's son? Like,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating how ignorant people can be on this. My brother is human. He acts differently. Just because someone acts differently from you doesn't mean you can treat them like they're less than you. I'll tell you what, my brother is.
Yeah, that's well said, Yoon. I appreciate what she said. Like, the fact that you just shouldn't really treat people differently, like lesser than you, just because they're different than you. This obviously does not just apply to autistic people. It can apply to people who are of a different ethnicity than you, who are gay, who are trans, who have a different religion, whatever. You should not treat people like they're less than human. You shouldn't say stupid stuff like that. It's just backwards. It's 2023. There's really no excuse for it these days. So that's a very good point, Yoon.
The sweetest and the most cutest bro ever. You can't change my mind. We don't need people to feel sorry for us, let alone look down on us. He is perfect.
True.
And my adorable little brother. Our family is happy together, and there's not a thing I would change. My parents went through a lot, but as a family, we grew together. And we love Yuji very much. All I would really want is to talk to him and know what he thinks of me. But you know, I don't need words from him to know we still do care about each other.
Oh,
Even
that's
though
nice.
we can't have a normal conversation, I've learned a lot from him. I've learned how to be happy and how to be kind. We can be different and people will look and judge, but that doesn't matter because we're happy. And he's what matters. I love my bro.
Well
Do
said.
any of you know anyone with autism or have it yourself? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear more of your stories and what your experiences are. And remember to be mindful and kind when replying to others.
Well, I gotta say, that was one of the most relatable videos I've seen in a long time. It was entertaining, it was educational, it was wholesome. Yoon, you get like a 10 out of 10 from me. That was an excellent video. If you guys want me to react to any more of Yoon's stuff, let me know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!